It's story time, and today, boys and girls, we're going to read part of this story. So I really want you to think about this story and how it applies to you. This one is called, How Full is Your Bucket? And this is written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer, illustrated by Mari J. Manning. You can see it's all about this bucket. Ask yourself if this is a real bucket or pretend, though. Felix was putting on one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. I want to build with you, she said. Felix scowled. Go away, you're too little. I'm big. Stay back or you'll knock it over. I can be very careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna. Thwack. Grandpa. Grandpa shook his head. Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still. Felix slipped and cocoa wheats scattered across the floor. Felix, yelled his mom, you should have used a stool to reach that. Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spilled out. Drip, drip. Ha ha, Anna laughed and she crunched the cereal with her shoes. Drip. Get the broom and clean that up before you miss your school bus, scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats, grabbed the last blueberry muffin, but before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one like that. Drip. Psst, psst, Felix. Psst, 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 psst. Drip. Watch out, shrimp. Drip. It was still morning and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. What else? That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. And we're going to stop right there for just a second here. All right. So we were all learning about Felix's tough day. And every time something bad happened, some of his water dripped out of his bucket. Did you decide, was that a real bucket or was that just a pretend bucket? Yeah, it was just representing something, wasn't it? Maybe representing his feelings and how he felt inside. And sometimes bad things happen because we make mistakes. And sometimes bad things happen and it was nothing we even did. Remember, like the dog eating his muffin? He didn't do anything bad. The dog just did that. Or his friends making fun of his backpack, right? So sometimes we just have hard things happen to us and water drips out of our bucket. That's like it making us feel sad, huh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. I want you just to think for a minute today about something that kind of makes you feel sad. What makes it so water drips out of your bucket? What makes it feel like you're a little bit ornery or a little bit frustrated? I was thinking about it. And not too much. Most things make me happy. But sometimes I come home and my children got into the stuff in the kitchen and they just left a mess everywhere. And so when the kitchen gets left a mess, that's kind of like making drips come out of my bucket because it makes me feel a little bit grumpy. Like, what in the world? I taught them how to clean up the kitchen. Why are they just leaving their stuff all over the place? And so sometimes that's like making drips come out of my bucket. Now I get a choice. I get to choose to be grumpy about that, or I get to choose ways to fix it, right? I wonder what Felix is going to do to fix his grumpiness. Let's wait, and we're going to finish that story tomorrow. But today, take out your paper, your journal paper, and we're going to write on it. Let me just share my screen with you. Let's see if we got a visualizer on. There we go. Uh-oh, it didn't work. Try again. There we go. Okay, so you've got your paper. It's behind tab 4. And you're going to start with right up here, putting today's date. And remember this morning, if you watched my announcements, I told you you could use the number 9 for September. So let's put 9 because it's the 9th month. And then we're going to put a dash and a 1 and a dash and then the year 2020. That's like saying September 1st, 2020. All right, now down here, I'm going to let you decide what it is that makes drips come out of your bucket every time. And you can finish writing it. You can write my dog eating my shoe, whatever it is, or my brother got into my toothbrush. Tell me something that always makes it so drips come out of your bucket. All right, I left a blank there. And then you can say makes drips come out of my bucket. And you can put push pause on your video right now so you can finish writing that. First write what it is, and then finish the sentence by make strips come out of my bucket. Be sure you put a period at the end because this is the end of a sentence. And when you start your sentence, be sure to put a big capital letter on the first letter of the first word. That's how we write a whole sentence. It has to have a capital letter, has to have an end mark, and it has to make sense. So you're writing a whole sentence already, which is awesome, boys and girls. All right. So I will finish this story tomorrow, and we'll find out how Felix learns to get his bucket filled again. See you later.